After getting a couple of messages from people who are intending to come over and fairly soon, and they don't appear to know what they need to bring, and so I'm looking at the idea that people are coming over and they're coming over to join a partner here, and they are going to eventually get married. So what do you need? Some documents that you need, right? Obviously when you go to declare your intention and get a license to get married, they're going to want to see a visa, a current visa, right? Now along with the visa there's an ACR card which will eventually come and be demanded of you. That's a card that lasts for a whole year. It's a one-time payment for the whole year, and you'll need to have that, but you'll be told that you when that is applicable. So divorce. Now I can't imagine that anybody's coming over that's 50 or 60 that hasn't been divorced. Now here's a tip that I found out the hard way. I found out the hard way about this. I sent to the court where I was divorced, and I got a copy. Now this was a court issued document showing that I had been divorced, and the date and everything that was pertinent to my divorce. Well, when we went to get married and get the documentation handled for that, they said no, this is not enough, and they demanded to know the decree nisi. I hope that's the way that you pronounce that. So they want to see the whole thing. They don't want to just see like a top page. They don't want to see something that says yes, well, Harry was divorced from Nellie. No, that's not enough. So make sure that you go to the court before you leave and come here and get yourself the whole thing. Now your birth certificate is an obvious one. It's a no-brainer. Get an original. And if I were you, I would get a copy and get it notarized. A good copy notarized as being correct, and get that notarized in America. Will you be asked for that? No, but who knows? It's so easy to get when you're there, so why not do it? Now you'll be required to go to the US Embassy for what they have various names for it, but what it amounts to is a clearance of your good name. In other words, that you don't have any impending criminal activities to be answered to. So they'll want to do that. When I went, that was well, coming up for 4 years ago, and that was $50 then. Maybe it's gone down. Yeah, right. So be ready with probably 100 now. So then you'll be required to do the seminar for intending couples, couples who are intending to get married, and you will have to do that, and it's about 2 hours plus about 2 hours waiting for the people who are going to conduct the seminar to get there. So we were there for about 4 hours. Right, now what they do is they on that seminar they go into all kinds of things in which they will tell you that. So you will during that seminar you'll be taught all kinds of interesting stuff about what to do when your wife refuses to have sex with you, and they recommend that you go and watch television. Yes, well, all kinds, doesn't it? So you have to do that, and you have to get signed off, and there's the most peculiar I think it was 200 questions that you have to ask, that you have to answer on a sheet of paper, that you tick off the answer. I think it's a multiple choice questions, and you have to answer those so that you can get married. So they take it very seriously here, and I seem to remember, even though Beth says that she doesn't remember this, I seem to remember that she went to some kind of a little talk or seminar that was aimed purely at Filipinos who are going to marry a foreigner, and I feel sure that she actually had to do that, but your wife will soon find, or your wife-to-be will soon find out about that. So, now here's the thing. Any document that you may have which relates to your status in any kind of way, for instance, a whole number of years ago I changed my name. I changed it from my family name to of Flannery to Martin. That's when I was working as a musician, and Martin seemed a better choice for me. I've since gone back to using Flannery out of nostalgia, and I intend at some point to change it legally back again. But anyway, that's a document that it's wise for me to have. So if you have such a thing, then bring that with you. It's when it's documentation, it's better to bring it rather than not. So, driver's license. That's what I would suggest, a driver's license. I think I have down here the ACR card, which is like your, that's your card which declares that you're a senior, which I think after 60, that's what you're declared here. Having this card does have some advantages, so, but anyway, you have no choice but to have it, because they will demand that at immigration. So, that's pretty well what I wanted to say. That's mostly dealing with documentation and whatever it takes. I do, as a general rule, I think that you should bring every piece of documentation that you need. For instance, I don't know that it applies, but if you've lived and served as an American serviceman here, that might be a piece of documentation that you might want to bring. Whether it will be any good or not, or any use to you, I'm really not sure. I served in the British Army myself, and that hasn't proved to be any use at all. So this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Good luck. Hope that you have everything that you need. You can pose a question, and if it's extensive enough, then I'll do a video on it, and I'll try and find out as much as I can. Bye for now.